night tonight here at Brown Stadium. The Redskins are going to be honoring Joe Miller tonight. Talk about that a little bit, Dan.
Yeah, Joe Miller was a coach for years at Anderson High School. He has a 57 and 46-1 record, or 4 record, and it was an athletic director here at also at Anderson High School, and just well deserved that we got to do recognition for Joe, and they're going to recognize him here right before the game after they announced some of the players, as you see, coming out here. So well overdue, and it's going to be really neat to see Joe, and I know he's very overwhelmed, and his family's down there as well. So it'll be a very special, and I'm sure Joe's very overwhelmed right now, I think.
Joe Miller was the football coach here for many years at Anderson, and then he became the athletic director for a long time. He was the athletic director when I was here. Was he still athletic director when you came here, Tim,
yeah.
or Dan?
Yeah, he was.
Was he?
Actually, Greg, he had 2 different stints from what I understand from Bill. He went for a while, took a year or 2 off, and then came back and then went another 4 or 5 years.
Oh, okay.
Is the way they explained it to me earlier. So he spent so much time here and obviously raised his family here. And, you know, Bill graduated with me in '76, and, of course, now Bill's kids have gone through the program, and Andersonians through and through.
So, again, first time these teams have played in 13 years. McNicholas looked very good last week. They beat a good Turpin team 21-7. The Redskins lost that game down at the Crosstown Showdown, and a lot of young players playing, and 2 big plays is why they lost that game. 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns. Otherwise, the Redskins would have got the W.
Yeah, and we'll see what they're going to do. I think they're going to do something with Joe right now as he's going out, as you can see.
And our cameraman, Tim Huntington, has that on camera, don't you, Tim? Attaboy. And I believe that is Bill Miller that is out there along with Gloria, Joe's wife, and Joe's other kids.
And there it is. Everybody can see it. That's awesome.
For 37 years.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
How about that? That's like I got goosebumps, man.
I do too.
That is awesome.
It's Coach Geesting shaking Joe's hand.
Congratulations.
That is just great.
How many lives did that man have an impact on, Dan?
He had a lot. And I'm going to tell one quick story real quick. Is my dad had surgery a long time ago, and he was in a hospital. And Joe Miller, my mom, came in and found out that my dad had surgery. And Joe Miller went back and gave my mom back all the money that we paid for all the kids, because he knew that we were going through. Because my dad was in a real tough time at the point. So Joe Miller did that, and that's just something that I will always remember. And that's just the kind of guy that Joe Miller was.
Let me tell you something else real quick. When my mom went into the nursing home with Alzheimer's, the first person to go see her was Joe Miller. He went down and saw my mom.
That's unbelievable. You know, that just speaks volumes of him. And I know, John, you probably got some stories about him too as well.
Well, obviously graduating with his son Bill and going through middle school with Bill, and knowing Joe on that personal level too, just not because he was the athletic director here, but because of hanging out at their house all those years, and just a super guy. And you're right, he's one of those guys that put his heart and soul in something. And partially why I came back and do everything I do around here is because of guys like him that motivated me to say I want to kind of follow in those footsteps and what's right for the kids here here at Anderson High School. So.
Yeah, that's just it's an awesome thing.
Hey, I'm going to give it back up to you. 12 seconds to go. Anderson McNicholas.
Throw it down to Johnny. Johnny, I think, has got a special guest for us, Mr. Joe Miller.
I do have a special guest. Joe Miller's with us, and of course they had a little honorary before the game for Joe and all his years. And Joe, how many years was it here? About 37. Did I get that right?
Well, let's see. I won 57, lost 46, and tied 4. So whatever that is, that's 100 right around there, isn't it?
That's a bunch of games.
Yeah.
Is there one that stands out in your mind that maybe was I know the McNick game was always a big game no matter what, but was there one that really stood out in your mind?
Well, the big game came 1 year when we were playing Princeton for the title, and Forrest Heiss was the captain of the team that year. Bobby Wilhoit was our star running back and everything else. We won the game, championship game of the league. We won 10-7. Bobby Wilhoit scored a touchdown, kicked the field goal, and kicked the extra point, and we won.
Well, he didn't have much to do, did he?
No, he didn't.
All right. Guys, we're going to get ready to start the second quarter, but I know everybody will see this on USBN Sports. And Joe, it's great having you here with us.
Thank you, John. I love every minute of it.
You bet. Thank you.
All right.
Back up to you guys.
Thanks, Johnny.
John. Thank you, Joe Miller.